Hello and welcome to Art 105, our introductory video to this course. You should be seeing me, your instructor, Raven Moffat, against a kind of festive background, and closed captions. They're auto-generated, so they could be wrong, but closed captions at the bottom for accessibility. I'm going to go right in to taking us on a little tour of our D2L site. Because this class is fully online and asynchronous, everything you need to know is in the D2L. I'm going to hit on a couple key points in our how the D2L is set up and our syllabus and our schedule of work. But if you have any questions, I'm so sorry. See, this is even I can make mistakes. If you have any questions, please email me through PIMA email. This is a great point. So I teach multiple iterations of this course, Art 105. So when you contact me, please include the course number, the CRN number, which sorry, you can maybe hear my dog drinking in the background. For this class, it's 20751 right here. Let me open that up. And this is our course landing page. I'll have announcements that update at least every week. I usually try to do announcements that give a heads up for our upcoming assignments, anything I want you to be particularly aware of. If I find cool art articles or exciting new exhibitions, sometimes I post them there. And also sometimes if there was overall feedback that I wanted to give to the class, like maybe, and this is often the case, maybe there was a little bit of confusion about citations, or I wanted to clarify something. Those larger scale announcements are all going to happen on your D2L landing page. So you can set it up that it might email alert you, or if you have D2L on your like the app on your phone, it might ping you. But just be active on this page and opening it frequently. That's a really good key to success here. And then over on the right-hand side, you have the instructor widget, my lovely face, my dog. I work with my dogs, so you'll get to know them a bit. And then a hyperlink to my PIMA email. I want to emphasize the PIMA email part because if you email me using your personal email, it will likely go to my spam folder. And I try to check that on a regular basis because it happens so frequently. But a much better practice, just to make sure that I'm getting your information as quickly and clearly as possible to my inbox, and just so that we have good records of our communication, is to use your PIMA email, which you all have as PIMA students when you contact me. As an online teacher, I don't have a phone in an office, so email is the right way to contact me. A little bit further down on this page, this is contact for a PIMA librarian, Sandra Lay. She's amazing, can handle all sorts of questions, and I really urge you all to use her as a resource because there are a lot of points in this course where you are doing research and you are working with citations, and librarians, that's their jam. At the very bottom of the page, if you're ever having issues with D2L and you need to contact D2L support, that quick link is there. But there's also some good quick links about tutoring, testing centers, career services. So feel free to explore down there. It's less our course specific and more kind of showing you the range of what PIMA has to offer. All right, the first thing you'll do when you enter into our class is to go to our syllabus and double check that you're on board with all of that information. Our first opportunity for you to get points is a syllabus contract quiz. That'll be one of the first things due, and all you do is read over the syllabus carefully, read over our course content and the schedule of work, make sure that you're understanding everything to the best of your ability. And if you are accepting what the syllabus has laid out and you want to continue with the class, then you just answer one question that says, do you want to continue in the class? You say yes, and you get 5 points. Um, so be sure to do that. I'm just going to go over our key information in this syllabus. So it'll be very important for you to go back to it, read all the way through it, and reference it as needed. This class starts the 30th of January. It concludes the 18th of May. Um, and there are some really important deadlines here and in a second place in your syllabus. The drop refund audit deadline is February 11th. Please mark that down because if something comes up, you know, we don't usually anticipate dropping a class, but it's very common for, I think, especially with these online classes, to get overwhelmed and to actually realize that you maybe are over capacity and you need to drop out. Totally understand. I did that my first semester of college. I didn't understand the attendance policies of a science course, and I was going to just fail by default. But luckily, I checked in before the drop deadline and was able to have that go away without me having kind of like an automatic fail. So, really common. I don't take it personally, but be honest with yourself and your abilities and your schedule and check in there. And then the second kind of if you were like on the edge or you missed that deadline and you're going with class, but it's a struggle, the next deadline would be April 14th. And you really need to take action by then because if we get past April 14th and you are feeling like this is not the class for you, you want to retry later on, you're maybe at risk of failing, it's a lot more labor intensive process for you to lobby for this class to get expunged. Just because this is an online class does not mean that we do not have deadlines. We have weekly deadlines. Every Sunday, things will be due. And actually, I realize I have a mistake here. I'm going to amend it right away. It's Sundays for this class. More information about how to contact me, again, my PMA email, a Zoom link to my personal Zoom room, which is a open Zoom room that doesn't it's not like this meeting happens only at certain hours, it's all the time. But there is a waiting room, and that's for y'all's privacy. Treat it like you would my physical door, right? You wouldn't just walk into your professor's door if they had another student in the room, or I could have sensitive information like grades up. You're going to knock. And you're probably going to plan ahead and email me ahead before you even show up, right? To make sure that I'm not like on lunch or something. So that's what you want to do with my Zoom link. If you want to meet via Zoom, love to do it, love to clarify things. We can go back through D2L. We can look at something together. It's just a faster way to talk. You're going to want to email me first and say, I'd like to talk about these things. Here's my availability to meet. And we'll agree on a time and I'll send you that Zoom link again. So I make sure you're going to the right one. If you'd rather just talk via email, happy to do that too. My background is in the visual arts. I got my MFA from University of Arizona. I'm currently writing my dissertation for my PhD. So if you ever have questions or thoughts about higher education, feel free to shoot me an email about that too, because I've been in higher ed as a student and as a instructor for over a decade. So happy to talk you through based on my experience. If you're thinking about things really concretely, I highly recommend that you link up with a PIMA advisor because they have more, on the ground, step-by-step knowledge. But if you just want to talk about someone who's had that experience, I'm happy to be that person. I do work with my dogs. You saw a picture of one of my dogs, likely one of my dogs might walk through the screen right now. So if you like dogs, I love to see them in artwork and people's historical analysis. I don't give extra credit, but people just often take note of that. So I just say it up front. Another thing to be reminded of is this is a longer class. So I teach this as a super compressed 8-week, and then I also teach the 16-week traditional and the 14-week, which is slightly more compressed. So you want to be averaging 10-ish hours a week of class time, right? Of being on D2L, doing your work. And then there are some moments where you'll be out in the world doing research. So really wanted to highlight that. This is mostly online, totally asynchronous. We never meet up in person, but there are some real world assignments. So there is an assignment where you will need some art materials because you're going to make a self-portrait. I find a lot of people, that's one of their favorite things that they really enjoy in the class. So if people watch this video and are interested in having more opportunities that are like studio art, like making, I will set up another extra credit that is a making prompt. But it's a test if people actually watch these intro videos to see if there's interest on that. So email me if you're one of those people. You're like, I watched the video. I really like to make things, and I am interested in more extra credit. Um, the other thing that is not extra credit and is something you absolutely will need is transportation and planning to get to local art museums and events and performances and galleries. There are two assignments in this course where you will need to physically go to an art event. I have a lot more information about Pima's art events and things in Southern Arizona, but I know people are accessing this class from all over the world. So I absolutely welcome museums and galleries that aren't on my like pre-approved list of Southern Arizona spaces. But what you need to do is you need to Google it. You need to learn about the times that they're open, um, any sort of cost of admission, you need to plan. Any sort of transportation, you need to plan. And you need to email me and say, hey, I actually um, live in Oregon and I'm going to go to the Portland Art Museum. Is that okay? Will that count for this assignment? And I will respond and say, yes, absolutely do it. I also have students who take advantage of their travels. Maybe they're visiting family, maybe they have an international trip planned. And so I've had students say, during our semester, I actually, for spring break, I'm going to be in Paris or New York. Can I go to the Louvre or can I go to the MoMA? And I'm like, absolutely. What a fantastic opportunity. Um, and it's just about that communication beforehand to make sure that you're, not thinking that you're going to be able to complete an assignment going somewhere and it's actually not going to work for that assignment. Um, or worst case scenario really is you go to a museum and it's closed or you're not prepared to pay the fee you might need to pay to get in. Most museums do have discounts for people who are in-state residents, students, veterans, on SNAP or EBT or WIC. So I highly recommend looking into those opportunities too. A lot of museums also have first Fridays or first Thursdays that are completely free. So again, do your research ahead of time and that'll make this class just that much more fun and less stress-free. But that is something that if students don't prepare ahead of time, it can be kind of a difficult assignment for them. So I really want to hone in on that. All right. Just a couple more things on the syllabus to point out. This course overall has 700 points, and that's like kind of some bizarre math to do, right? To be like, okay, I did my course contract quiz. I have 5 points, but out of 700, what does that even look like? I update grades as quickly as possible. If I'm not updating grades or you're not seeing your grades updated, feel free to email me and ask. But seriously, you all will turn them in Sunday night. I will generally try to have them graded by Monday night at the latest. Like really, I'm trying to not sit on them for you. And you just go to this little tab right next to the syllabus, and all of your grades should be visible there. If ever you have questions or concerns, again, feel free to email me. Um, this is just reiterating those key dates. Remember, February 11th and April 14th. Um, I, because everything is available to you upfront when things are due, what I'm asking for, I can be a little bit of a stickler about late work. I only accept late work really if you have a technological just malfunction. I've had some people who are like, D2L is failing me, and they can email me saying that, or they take a screenshot in the moment, and we work out a way to get their work to me. If ever D2L is failing, but you still have Wi-Fi, feel free to come up, buddy. My dog is going to come up here. Um, just email me your assignment if you can. If it's like a quiz, which are all set up in D2L, of course, you won't be able to access it if D2L is failing, but email me, let me know what's happening. If you're having kind of a life emergency, so like, for example, I had kind of a life emergency with some elders in my life. They had to go to the hospital. If I had been responsible for doing anything by midnight that night, I would not have been able to do it. And I understand those things happen. I hope that they don't, but they do, right? Um, what I ask is that as much as possible, you communicate with me ahead of time, right? So if you experience something very tragic and very sudden, I totally understand if that comes a little bit later. But if you're very, very ill or something is going on and you have a moment to just email me, it doesn't have to be very detailed, but just to let me know what's going on, that will allow you a lot more options for makeup and will just make communication easier all around. So please, please, please email often and in advance as much as you can. Um, Quizzes are really important in this class. They're due every week, sometimes two a week. Um, and because they are due every week, they are a great way for me to monitor class participation and attendance. So attendance is matched by your quizzes. Um, and because of that, I don't do extensions for quizzes. But I do offer to everyone that if you take the quiz one time and it's not a 100, you get a second opportunity to take it available right away. So when you're planning to take your quizzes, be sure to factor in that extra time if you think you might want a second chance at taking the quiz. Um, Again, I'm calling the travel to the galleries and museums for your assignments field trips. Plan ahead and email me ahead before you go to places that aren't on my pre-approved list, which is very specific to Southern Arizona. Uh, a last reminder about the course contract quiz. Again, read over the syllabus in more detail and just answer one question for a very easy 5 points due February 2nd. And if you have any other questions about things on the syllabus or in this little welcome module, which is your first place to go on content, please email me. So after you look over the syllabus, you're going to head one little doodad to the left. And I don't know why it's starting us at the very bottom, but you should open it up to the welcome module and just go in order. Read me first, and then you can just use these arrows and click right through. I'm again going to kind of dance around and just hit on the most important things. This is a syllabus PDF link, so if you want to see our full syllabus in all of its interactive glory, you can use this tab up top. But if you maybe want to print it out, or if ever that syllabus link at the top of this page is maybe kind of glitchy, this is a more kind of compressed direct link. Please use it. The next really critical thing is our schedule of work. I have every due date for this class laid out, clear, labeled. Um, this due date correlates to 11:30 p.m. on that date, always. So you'll never be confused about the time things are due. It's always 11:30 p.m. from where you're accessing it, right? And so the first thing due is this course contract, February 2nd. And then you have a discussion where you'll introduce yourself and get some points that way, due February 9th. And also due that first week on February 9th will be your first content quiz. And so you can scroll through here and see all the things that are due. You'll notice some gaps, right? Because we have rodeo break and we also have spring break. So really do be paying attention to things here. You can also use the calendar drop down up top, but the schedule of work is the most precise and reliable for this class. I have a couple of resources about using the library, writing in a scholarly voice, using citations appropriately. Then there are some quick links about D2L, um, some Pima Arts links. They are old, right? So 2020. But the reason that they exist is during the pandemic, a lot of things were being housed online. So if you just want to get a feel about what you're getting into in terms of the Pima art community here and some of the events that Pima is going to have going on, feel free to peruse this. Then, very important, down towards the bottom of the page, I have my grading rubrics clearly articulated and assignment guidelines. I often have students who are asking me questions, particularly about the portrait project, right? Because it's kind of an outlier. Most everything in this class is very art historical, research based. And then you have this maker space, right? And people might forget about this assignment guidelines and be asking me a lot of questions. Please, please, please refer to this first. Go to the assignment where I talk about it. You have the due date. If you're not clear there, go to the assignment guidelines, peruse the grading rubric. I have that for discussions as well. And then if you still have questions, then you email me. So I shouldn't be receiving emails that are in the vein of what do I do for this assignment? I should be receiving emails that show that you have looked and you say, on the assignment sheet, it says this, and I would like a little more clarification about what that means, or can you give me an example? I actually do have examples of the self-portrait assignment from previous students linked there as well. Um, and so after you familiarize yourself with kind of the layout of the course by going over the syllabus and this welcome module, then you will dive right into module one, which is all your reading content. There are links here too. If ever, every once in a while, the video links will be broken. Please email me right away and I will update them. I check them every semester, but sometimes they change in the middle of a semester. And you scroll down and you'll see all the assignments you have for that module, right? So here's our first discussion topic. Well, you'll introduce yourself, our quizzes, and then I'm putting way up front information about our three kind of longer term semester projects. Two of them where you visit a gallery or a museum, and one of them where you make a self-portrait. So these really should be in your mind. You should be working about them, thinking about them, drafting them throughout the course. Um, Lastly, I will be placing extra credit opportunities in this down here at the bottom. They'll be due a little bit before our class closes, just so I'm not slammed with so much grading. Right now, I have one opportunity, which is to watch an ART105 video. They're very informative but fun and focused on contemporary artists, so it could be very inspirational for your work. And you just respond to whatever you watch, and then hopefully more than one person will be engaging this. And if you can respond to one of your classmates also, this then not only do you get extra credit for engaging in an art piece, but you also get more opportunity to interact with your classmates, which is what the discussions are for. And then if you do all that, then I'll increase your lowest assignment grade by a full letter grade. So it can be really a huge help. Again, if people watch this video and there are a lot of people in this class who are excited to experiment more with making art, I will offer a second extra credit opportunity that is more based on making and producing art. If that is the case for a lot of people in this class, I also recommend that you just take other Pima classes that are studio-based. Great. I think that is all I have to share with you. Again, always check out our announcements. This video will be linked here. And email me if you have any questions or concerns. Looking forward to a great semester with you all and getting to know you all better. Thank you.